Yeah, we find her, that beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say go so, the remix.
EMB, Tate'S remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us on your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty who's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. But then it took a long fun eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the bus station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so charmed. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl, sparkling eyes, a killing eye. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe, shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from the planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty. I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. One beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tate'S. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tate'S, it's DMB, baby. Look,
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts, call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. show me Aston Kutcher. I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'm a go-getter. Since I'm a go-getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world. Anything for my beautiful girl. Psych. Ooh,
It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome back. What's going on? How's everyone doing? If you're here, if you're one of the few people hanging out with me tonight, congratulations to you. Welcome back. Because you're demonstrating some kind of commitment there. I appreciate you. Welcome. It's 10 p.m. on a Wednesday night on the 14th of June. We're faithful. We're trying to be, okay? But yes, today we're trying to talk about Andrew Tate. It's quite a lot of material, honestly. There's no way we can cover all of the material that comes with Andrew Tate in 1 hour. But we have some stuff that I feel like we can cover. Hey, Natu, how you doing? Welcome. She Owakpa. Yes. So there's some stuff here that we can cover really quickly. Just to bring you up to speed, I've covered Andrew Tate in the past year, just like I covered the Just Proud things and anything that has to do with aggressively trying to ship women back into 1960s. We've covered that in the past. Anyway, I think we're clear at this point that it just doesn't work. Okay, but tonight I'm going to be reacting to a couple of videos. So what happened is that he got arrested just a few days before last New Year. Okay, let me see. If you don't know who Andrew Tate is, let's put some face to it. I'm sure you clicked on it to get here, but let's just put some face into this, just to make everything make sense. See, you know what I mean, right? Some people call him the top G, right? Yeah, some people call him the top G. Hey Chinye, good evening, welcome. Let me see here. I'm going to share the screen with you real quickly. But welcome back. Welcome to Men of Prestige. This is my name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Let's see here. I took over the screen. All right, that's the top G right there. That's Andrew Tate. I'm sure you've seen him around. He's popular for, honestly, I don't know at this point, but you'll be able to tell in a second here. 1 second here. Just in case you're brand new here, please, on your way in, hit that like button, share and subscribe. Hold on 1 second. Check for the Apache RLR, see what night, because she might try installing. Okay, there you go. Alright, so hit that like button as you're coming in. Hit that like button. Over here on Man of Prestige, basically what we do is we talk about relationship, but we also talk about power, self, social, emotional intelligence. So power is going to play a role in what we're going to talk about tonight. We also talk about the power of seduction and attraction. These things are easier said than done. It's something you basically have to be a student of for a lifetime. There's no I've known it all. You know, the only thing you can be is be a student of, especially emotional intelligence and power. You have to be a student of it for a lifetime because it's a moving target. Okay, it's a moving target. So, no, we're not talking about Brother Paul tonight. We're talking about Red. I was about to say Red. No, we're talking about Top G, Andrew Tate. Okay, so he was arrested just a few days. Okay, he was arrested just a few days before New Year's, and I think he was in jail for 60 days or so, 60 to 90 days. Okay, he was in jail. He was in jail, and by the Romanian government. Okay, and basically he's being dragged through the system since then. I'm going to bring you up to speed what's going on with him. I've covered him in the past. In my opinion, he's just another lame person who thought he could use his mouth to use his mouth anyhow in this world and time that we live in right now. It just doesn't work. Okay, that just doesn't work, and he will continue to collect woto. So right now he's all over the place yelling Matrix is out to get him. I actually agree with that, but in a different twisted way. You know, I actually think he doesn't know that the Matrix actually exists. I know the Matrix exists. He thinks, okay, so how do I say this? He's quick to point fingers at the Matrix, right? I think he thinks the Matrix is a person, right? The Matrix is a system of persons, millions upon millions of networks, neurons, all kind of stuff. That's, yes, as a man in this time and age, is probably designed against you. Definitely not when you think your mouth is your power. Okay, it's not gonna work. Okay, and if it was that easy, everybody that knows how to run their mouth will be winning. Clearly they're not. And even him that has been winning financially in different ways, the Bugatti, you know, he owns a Bugatti and a fleet of luxury and, you know, lifestyle, all this kind of stuff, you know. So we're going to react a little bit tonight, you know. Exactly, right? If he keeps talking about the Matrix, it will continue to get got. Exactly. That's what we're talking about. So yes, today we're going to be assessing this issue. It's going to be fun. We'll see how it goes. I've got a couple of videos, but before we get into the videos, let me go ahead and share this with you. I'm just going to read this. I think it's like a little timeline on sky.com. It says, let me see here. I'll just read it to you so I don't blind you with the text. Okay. All right, so it says Andrew Tate went from being a small-time celebrity. For those of you that may not be familiar with this guy, it's very important that I read this to you. Andrew Tate went from being a small-time celebrity, Big Brother contestant, kickboxer, influencer, to a household name for his misogynistic videos. All right. So I'll let you be the judge of if you think some of these things I'll play today are misogynistic or not. Okay. Obviously it's subjective, but I'll just, you know, whoever is here today will be the judge. Okay. Temporarily. Okay. Social media bans. Okay. It's been known. It has a household name for its misogynistic videos, social media bans, and high-profile arrest in Romania. He is being held on suspicion of grape, the fruit grape, and human trafficking allegations he denies. It's been a whistle-stop few months of controversial Twitter posts, court dates, and roles with climate campaigner Greta Thunberg. I think that was the last news we covered, right? Basically poked this bear, and he got arrested the following day. I personally don't think there's a direct link. If anything, maybe some sort of indirect link, but there's nothing close to a direct link between that tweet and his arrest. contrary to popular beliefs in his community. Here's what led up to Tate's arrest and what has happened since he was detained. On 11 April, Tate's home was searched by Romanian police in relation to the investigation. Hold on 1 second. There you go. On 11 April, I think that's last year, Tate's home was searched by Romanian police in relation to the investigation into claims of human trafficking and rape. Romania's Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime and Terrorism, known as DIICOT, has pointed to this raid as evidence their investigation has been ongoing for months, and Tate's arrest in December was not linked to the pizza box shown in a clapback video aimed at Greta Thunberg. All right. Now, if you ask me, they've been watching him for a while. Okay? You feel this by polo shirts. The Tommy stuff, that's my wife. I asked her for you where she got it from. Anyway, thank you, Jared. August 2022, social media bans. Okay, so August 2022, right? I think that's the month that what month are we in? Well, that's not the month. I think we started in 2021, right? Tate is banned from Instagram, Facebook. Basically, he's being silenced, okay? That's literally what that is. He's being silenced, okay? Tate is banned from Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for violating rules of dangerous individuals and breaching hate speech rules. A lot of people think they have free speech, right? They think free speech equals to no consequences. Let me align my sound effects here, because these people go collect. Listen. You think your mouth is your power? Yeah. First of all, there's no power in your mouth like that. The power that your mouth has is usually against yourself. It's a weapon of that you can use to self-destruct for the most part. You know, just keep that. This is why silence is golden. This is why silence is a powerful thing, and that's always going to be that case. It's not going to be it's not going to change. Okay, let's continue. All right, let me see. This person is bothering me over here. Oh, good. Let's go away. This brought his tally of social media bans to 5. Okay, so they banned him on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Okay, he was kicked off of Twitter in 2017. Okay, but allowed back in November 2022. I think Elon Musk allowed him back, and TikTok won't let him have an account. TikTok won't let him have. All right. Although that hasn't stopped his videos racking up millions of views on the platform. Here's what I tell you. If I was going to learn anything from Andrew Tate, I would learn marketing from him. Okay? Particularly this new era type of marketing. But again, can it really teach me anything outside of using extreme ideologies to push a viewpoint? Like, those things will naturally go viral. Can we really claim that's marketing skills right there? Yeah. To an extent. Okay, to an extent. I have to respect that to an extent. But he will have to help me come up with other ways that we can get attention outside of being disrespectful to women. But let's continue. He launched himself on the streaming platform Rumble, okay, which described itself as immune to cancel culture. 27 December 2022, okay, Tate's Gold's climate campaigner Greta Thunberg on Twitter sharing a picture of himself standing next to a Bugatti. His Bugatti. a Bugatti, boasting about his 33 cars and asking for our email address so he could send details of their enormous emissions. So it was basically bothering this girl who is activist for environmental blah blah blah. Basically just poking her. Miss Thunberg's reply, featuring a fake email address mocking him and ending with words getalive.com, became one of the most liked tweets in history. Wow. Okay. Now he'll probably run around and claim that, it's because I'm influential too. He's been claiming that he's the most searched man on the planet at one point. I'm sure there's some truth to it, right? Where doing work with Shebi Lomo. A lunatic, everybody will stand around and watch a lunatic dance, right? But the last thing they want to be is be a lunatic or have a child who's a lunatic. We need to separate the differences. He follows up with a video where he smokes a cigar and tells Miss Thunberg to get a life. His past, the stack of pizza boxes bearing Romanian branding, spawning the theory that the video gave away his location to police. They always know where you are. It's only if there's not enough interest. Okay, they always know where you are, bro. Anyway, there's no evidence that this is the case, although Miss Thunberg took the opportunity for a dig, tweeting, "This is what happens when you don't recycle your pizza boxes." Okay, so she was also trolling him. 29th of December 2022, the arrest. Tate is arrested along with his brother Tristan and 2 Romanian women. They were held on suspicion of human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized crime group. They were initially detained for 24 hours, which was then extended to 30 days. A further 30 days were added in January, allowing them to be held until 27th of February. So they were held for almost 2 months. All right. On 10th of January, court appearance, the Tate brothers appeared in court in Bucharest. They lost their appeal against the court extending their detention. A document explaining the judge's motivation for the extension and the possibility of them evading investigations cannot be ignored. Well, think about it this way. If you have reputation and you have your own words on the internet saying you're moving to a particular type of country because you can get away with, you can have your cake and eat it too over there, right? Your own words, right? Guess what they're going to use against you when the matrix is trying to get you, right? Of course, they're not going to let you leave the country. If they let you leave the country, you've demonstrated that there are chances you can run away with your own mouth, literally with your own mouth. All right. To be fair to him, he's admitted that he runs his mouth quite a bit. Anyway, let's keep going. So they could leave Romania and settle in countries that do not allow extradition. Their lawyers also argued unsuccessfully that the court should return possession seized during their arrest. Yeah. Is this people always claiming to have a right? It is my right. It is my right. It is my... I don't know how many times I have to tell you that you don't really have a right, okay? Let's be clear. You have no rights, okay? You do, but not really. Okay, not really. And they will claim that they know this, but then they're basically acting like they don't believe themselves, okay? Anyway, of course they're not going to give them their stuff back. You mad me. Their lawyers also argued unsuccessfully that the court should return possessions seized during their arrest, including properties, land, and a fleet of On 12 January 2023, homes raided. Police raided 7 more homes with the aim of uncovering further evidence in the investigation into Tate. On 14th January 2023, luxury cars seized. Right. Let me see. Well, its entry said, please play Brother Bernard for Andrew State. No, I'll play Brother Bernard for right. You know, I have a right. It is now in the poto poto. These are your rights in the poto poto. These are your rights. You don't have a right. The more you run your mouth, the less the rights you have. That's the reason why they tell you you have the right to remain silent. Remain silent, right? Because everything you say literally everything will be used, will be used against you. This is power talk today, okay? Everything you say will be used against you in the courts of law. Romanian authorities seized several luxury cars from Tate'S villa. The cars, which included a Rolls Royce and BMW, were taken from the house and transported by police to a secret warehouse. Yeah. On the 25-26 January, brothers questioned. The brothers spent 2 days being questioned at the Bucharest headquarters of the organization that tackles organized crime and terrorism known as DICOT. Is it DICOT? DICOT? It's just DIICOT. It's an acronym for the investigation body, investigation agency in Romania. As the pair arrived on the second day, Tristan Tate told reporters, "What evidence is there?" They won't tell you now. Yeah, they won't tell you now. Now, I did say about 2 weeks ago that I don't think they have much against him. I think I'm about to take that back. Okay? I'm about to take that back. Okay? I do think there's quite a bit against him. It's with his own mouth. Okay? Andrew Tate protested his innocence as he left, saying, "There is no evidence in my file because I've done nothing wrong." Yeah. Sadly, people have done nothing wrong and end up in jail for a lifetime. And it's not even always that they actually run their mouth. Sometimes it's just bad fate. How much more you've been running your mouth? Anyway, that's a very quick, short timeline. So anyway, some few weeks ago, let me just show you this. So a few weeks ago, he decided to do an interview, and I was like, "What is wrong with this guy? What is doing this guy? Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you doing interviews when you have an open court case with serious allegations, right? There's no, for the most part, there's always some type of agenda anytime you are arrested, okay? It's just what it is, right? So this particular interview right here, he did. And then I made a statement at that time. I'm going to read that statement right now. I don't think these people have not anything solid on Andrew Tate. I'm taking that back right now. Okay? So as a matter of fact, I'm going to update this. Update, what's today? 6/14. I take this last statement back. Okay. I'm taking that last statement back. Okay, I think they have more than enough against him. Okay. There's nothing that they have against him that was made up. It's basically stuff he built up by himself over the years. Unfortunately, you will you have to, there's consequences for things you did in the past as well, particularly in the past. In fact, there's no consequences for things you haven't done. Right? It's stuff that's in the past, right? So maybe it's changing. Like you see the beards, right? It's changing. He has the beards. It's became it's converted to Islam. He's trying to do the right thing. Yeah. you're forgiven, but you're not necessarily going to get away with this stuff. Okay, the reason why I felt like they had nothing against him at the time was because I'm thinking, you know what? If they had something against him, they would have already charged him. But you know, Romania is damn near not the third world country per se, but you know, just thinking that terms, right? A third world country, right? They can hold you and build a case against you while they hold you, and you can't do anything about that. Okay, it's possible. Okay, they do it in Nigeria all the time. They just arrest you for no reason. In fact, the person that got you arrested is just a friend. You actually did nothing wrong. All you did was like blink at their wife, and you're arrested, right? Or allegedly you stole some money from a private company and you're arrested. Until further notice, they say hold him there. They will just keep bribing the police. Okay, so anything is possible. Anyway, so and I said, but I think this interview's obsession with being right. Okay, it's an obsession with being right. It's lame behavior. It's not always lame people only that do it. We've all find ourselves in a with a urge to shalaye. It's lame behavior. Okay, and it needs to be checked as often, as fast, as often as you can catch it. If you have a need to shalaye, it's probably not a good idea. Okay, if somebody has said something to you that triggered you and made you feel like you need to explain yourself, there's a good chance you don't need to. Okay, but I think this interview's obsession with being right will increase its chances of being put away much longer by the matrix, quote unquote the matrix. Gentlemen, there are limitations to the power you have in talking. For the most part, you will talk too much, especially if that's what you're known for, right? And beyond that, machines will not be judging with just the content of your words. It's not a machine that will be judging you. It's a human being that will basically look at, they will gauge you, they will size you up and say, let him go. Okay, let me hold him. It's basically human beings, okay? If it was here in this country here, in the United States, to be a jury of human beings, right? They will try to make it quantitative, but all in all, it's human beings using their own emotions, what they believe, from the limited information they have, to decide your fate, right? So it's completely bad idea. You know, I posted this 13 days ago, so it's about exactly 2 weeks ago. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this video, but you know, two nights ago, my wife and I were watching it, and I was like, you know what, I need to do a video about this. And beyond that, machines will not be judging you with just content of your words. Humans will be using discretion in judging you. Okay, humans will be using discretion in judging you with see, there was a typo there. With not just content. No one corrected me on this. Jesus Christ. We'll be judging we'll not be judging you with it was correct. Machines will not be judging with just the content of your words. Humans will be using discretion in judging you, and the largest variable in what they will use will be your conduct, meaning how you make them feel, okay, based on your conduct, right? Demeanor and body language as interpreted by them, not you. I wasn't rude. No. You don't get to be the judge of that. They get to determine if they feel you were being rude or not. These interviews are the wrong move, a testament to deficit in patience, wisdom, and power intelligence. Also, great way to earn much longer time away. But you know, coconut heads know they hear. They strongly believe being a good person is enough. So he's converted now, and somehow he's believing that being a good person today will exonerate him from the consequences of his behavior in the past. Anyway, that's why they can't stop the shalaye, even though the shalaye is all cap. Because at the end of the day, you did what you did. You did what you did. You used your mouth. So anyway, there's some videos here that I wanted to show you. The first one would be by a guy called CLR Criminal Lawyer Reacts Bruce Rivers, something like that. Okay. And he did a fantastic video that I thought was good to react to Tate's interview that he did with BBC. Right? So he did an interview with BBC, and the interview, obviously BBC chopped up the video to fit their own agenda. What is BBC's agenda always? What is always the agenda? Can anybody tell me? BBC don't care about you and I. They definitely don't care about Andrew Tate, okay? They need clouds and more clouds and more clouds and more clouds and more clouds. Okay. And more clouds. Yeah. He shouldn't be honoring interviews right now. He literally has a trial at the end of this month, I heard. But anyway, I thought we should react to this video. You know, he's done a 4 hours interview with another guy called what's his name? PBD, Pat Bet David. Pat Bet David at best is, the way he's moving around this conversation is weird too. But I think it's gonna be fine. I think he's claiming I have no feelings, I'm not taking any sides, I'm just gonna ask you honest questions. Well, the person that really asked honest question was the young lady from BBC. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up that video first. I'll play about 5 minutes of it, then we'll go to the lawyer's reaction, and then we'll go to maybe a little bit of PBD. But you can clearly see here that this guy is going to be in trouble. Let me find it. BBC Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate. Aha. So he decided to. So BBC did their own, and they chopped it up in the way they. And then he released his own full version, and it was basically the same thing. You know, there's a bunch of people say, "Oh yeah, they tried to get him," blah blah blah. Nah, they didn't try to get him. That's exactly what he did. What he did is exactly what he did, and it made sense. All right, he made sense what he did. So let me see. The first one I'm going to play is a little bit of the beginning of this video. Okay, there you go. This is the BBC interview, the one that's released by Andrew Tate by himself, his own camp. Okay, BBC released their own that's already chopped up. They edited it to fit into the news. Remember Tamiyu, right? They have to edit it to fit into their news program, right? And of course, they're going to capture you out of context a lot, but there's no context that Andrew Tate is going to give us that we don't already know. He has some very, very interesting views about the role that women play in society. In fact, during the course of this arrest, I think it just showed that he has daughters for the first time. Why was he hiding that fact? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's never shown anyone or revealed to anyone that he has a family, he has daughters, he has children. But why was he hiding that if he was in fact hiding it? Anyway, let's play this a little bit.
Andrew Tate. Hello. You've agreed to do an interview with the BBC today.
Yep.
The material's going to be published on television, on radio.
You know, poised, sitting upright, body language, I got this. No, you don't. Don't do that to yourself. You're a human being like the rest of us. Okay? There is no way that you got this if you're the one being arrested for no reason, locked up, no reasons, right? And you're trying to figure out the fate of the rest of your life. There is no way in hell that you're going to be emotionally centered enough to handle an interview from a professional person from BBC. They literally come there to trigger you. That's literally what they're there to do. They want to trigger you so that they can see your true self. Okay, the true self comes out when you're triggered. The packaged self is what you have when you're not being triggered. Everything is nice, so you're putting off a nice smile, a nice face, but wait until they say something to you. Okay, and then you'll find out that Skijigba is not our.
Online.
Perfect.
We are doing an interview with you because you're facing some very serious allegations.
Correct?
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say and the impact that they have on young people, on women.
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have. I would argue.
So it's not about the things he said, it's about the level of influence. How did you get those influence that we're talking about, right? I didn't know about Andrew Tate, but I don't know about a lot of people, so that's not fair to say, right? But I'm just gonna put that out there. I didn't know about Andrew Tate until a lot of this stuff that he's saying on the internet, okay? A lot of stuff he's saying on the internet, they're laced with truth, right? But the delivery, whatever he's saying, they're lame. They're basically lame, extreme ideologies that most human beings, including men, will say, hey, why are you talking like that, right? So he's claiming now that it's because of his influence, but how did you gather those influence? How?
Argue that a lot of the things that are already out there inside of the legacy media, the matrix as a whole, are far more damaging than the things I say.
The concern about the influence you have being a harmful influence, but let's...
Wait, just listen to what she just said. The major small are far more damaging than the things I say. Far
more damaging than the things I say.
The
concern about the influence, you're being a harmful influence.
Influence you have being a harmful influence, but let's start with...
And then she goes to but. She's already starting to trigger him instantly. She says something offensive to him immediately and then went straight to something else immediately. And then you look at his face, is already changing up. Right? I have to give it to him. He handled himself well, but it's not about that. Okay? It's not about that. Okay? It's bigger than him. What is going on is bigger than him. He's built a monster that's bigger than him. He's chewing more than he can actually. He's biting more than he can chew. He's beaten more than he can chew at this point.
For the allegations.
Not necessarily a harmful influence. The fact that I'm massively influential over the...
Hear that?
All right, so he's massively influential over the youth. How? What are you saying to this youth?
But it's my influence as a whole which people are afraid of, not necessarily the things I say.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely.
Have you gripped everybody? Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for
Absolutely
money?
not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women...
All right, so she's actively trying to trigger him. That's what she's there to do. She's not your friend. I think it's clear that she's not your friend. Why would you want to grant this interview? Anyway, so let's go to what Bruce Lawyer, criminal lawyer React says. I think it was a fantastic reaction video, so let's just do that. All right, here we go.
Do what he's doing in an interview on this. In fact, your problem. I mean, guess what? I think it's by the 18th he's got to get tried, and he's going to trial here this month. That's the deadline. So he will have been under the watchful eyes of the correctional system in Romania for 6 months.
The BBC challenged him on whether his views about women broadcast to his millions of online followers harmed young people, as many teachers and police officers claim. Well, the interview with...
So when you start out in a case, depending upon what the subject matter is, like if it's a child case, anything to do with the child, you're starting it out in a hole. Well, when you're starting out in an abuse case, abuse of process, abuse of women, sexual abuse, and
children.
And I don't know if he's guilty.
If we don't know if you're guilty, but if the accusation starts like that and you're being locked up for 6 months, that you're in trouble. That's not synonymous to you're guilty, but you're in trouble. Okay? You're in trouble, and it seems like he's having a hard time connecting the dots.
Guilty or not. I'm not going to opine on that. But you're starting out in an overly charged environment because who doesn't want to protect women, who doesn't want to protect children.
Who doesn't want to protect women? Who doesn't want to protect children? Remember that news that we talked about yesterday? Babyface got kicked off of the concert, the tour with Anita Baker. And Tank, another R&B artist, came out and said, I get that we want to protect the women and, you know, protect our women, but who's going to protect the men? This is the wrong question, bro. If you need to protect the men, go ahead and protect the men. But you sound like you're having a hard time protecting men. Or you're asking women to protect men. That's an oxymoron. Okay? Yes, women advocate all the time, but they can't protect us. They don't know what our experiences are. Okay? The right thing was what Babyface did. You made a statement. This is now, I'm not supposed to be on this tour. It was nice while it lasted. We make a statement. That's where your power is. You keep it moving. You go leverage this massive news that's going on right now. Not competing with women. Not turning this conversation to competing with women. She's already doing that. You're not going to beat her at that game. Right? So anytime you find yourself in a position where you're competing or you're competing with women and children, or you're being accused of something to the effect of abusing women and children, you're starting out very badly already. It can't, because evil men are going to come for you too. Oh, but they're just simps. You can call it whatever you want. But the point I'm making here is that you're powerless. You're powerless. And it's just the way it works.
So that's where you start out.
Well, the interview, which had no set conditions, was Tate's first since being released into house arrest from police custody last month. Lucy Williamson reports now from Bucharest.
We are doing an interview with you.
So we have a clearer audio here.
Because you're facing some very serious allegations.
We have a clearer audio because remember, the one I played earlier was the version that Andrew Tate and his team taped so that they don't come out and change his words for him, right? Or take him out of context. That's crap. You're not going to be taken out of context. It's you, okay? And that's going to be proven right now. We're taking a few clips. Still, it's you. You said what you said.
Correct.
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say.
Now, if I'm his lawyer, I don't know why he's doing this interview. I don't want any more out there than already is out there. And maybe there's just so much out there.
That's a bad idea.
You know, there's just, you can't contain it all. The last thing I want, right before a trial, is...
If you look at the hat on this lawyer's table, I don't know if you guys can see that. What does it say? Stop self-snitching. Stop telling on yourself. You talk too much. Talk too much.
Press. 0. Dark 30.
And the impact that they have on young people, on women.
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have.
Let's start
It is, because I'm so beautiful.
with the allegations.
Because it's so
Have you raped
beautiful.
anybody?
Absolutely not. Reach I have?
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
You know, here's the thing. When you have... the first time I'd ever want him to answer any questions like this would be on the stand.
Understand.
And so it's disconcerting to a criminal
And in a controlled environment.
Give a BBC interview. This has got no benefit. There's zero benefit for him to do this. Zero.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Of course he's going to say no.
Exploited any women for
Absolutely
money?
not.
Now remember, he's made all those videos where he makes all those admissions.
Girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is why your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
This is what he said. These are the things he said.
And this is why your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. And they will leave if you don't have every aspect under control. Tax is also another important element for controlling your woman. You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin. You need to tell your girl.
Telling on yourself
that you're paying the tax. Because girls are lazy.
You're going to move to Romania because you don't want to pay anybody taxes. And nobody can come and raid your house. Because all those girls want us anyway.
Girls are stupid. And girls don't understand
What?
that you're paying the tax. Because girls are lazy, and girls are stupid, and girls don't understand how taxes work. I used to pay my girls
Girls are lazy. They don't understand how taxes work.
30%. They thought they were on 50%. And I said that the disparity is...
They thought they were on 50%. He's admitting to robbing these girls.
I pay my girls 30%. They thought they were on
He gave them 30%. They thought they were on 50%.
50%. And I said that the disparity is because of taxes.
But you
So you claim you were paying taxes, but you're not going to pay taxes. Okay, so you're lying. All right. Not only the worst part about the fact that you're lying is that you're admitting publicly that you lied. So the worst part is not the lie. Listen to me carefully, gentlemen. Is the fact that you will come publicly. The lame part, the lamest part about it is that you will come out publicly and admit to lying about taxes and about potentially using girls for illegal activities.
have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. We have an open
No. He has admitted that.
criminal investigation. I am absolutely not really sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely not.
One of the things you don't want to do in an interview is attack the messenger. A lot of
Maintain your frame, I think is a stupid term at this point. I actually hate using the word now. Okay? You cannot maintain frame, but now you're going to preach maintaining frame. Do you even know what frame is? Right? With respect to the society you live in, to the social orders and constructs that you live in. Do you know what frame is? Or you think about frame as just something you do for you. Social, that means involving other people.
people, you know, when they don't really talk about the substance of the facts, they talk about, you know, the person interviewing them or the person asking the questions.
I've never hurt anybody. That the case that's been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated, and I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. And it's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth questions because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I'm beholden to the Romanian legal system, and I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Let me read you then what you have said.
The moment you sat in those chairs, you're already incriminating yourself. Okay? That the moment you sat in those chairs without having some kind of conclusive judgment from the case, you know, the case is concluded in court. That's it. You're already incriminating yourself. Okay? Because majority of your communication language is going to be body language, right? Your body language is going to be read. You're going to be triggered because this is something that can literally affect the rest of your life. Your freedom could be taken away for a long time. So it's literally impossible, right? For you to even not incriminate, for you to not incriminate yourself sitting in a chair with a professional journalist from BBC, one of the largest organizations in the world. That this is what they do. Their job is to trigger you. Their job is to get the most, how do I say it, the juiciest thing out of you, either from what you say or your conduct. Not just what you say, including your conduct.
About what you have done.
Sure.
You have said,
like I said, it's conducting itself not too badly, but the case is just it's like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. I don't care if it's your friend interviewing you. I don't care if it's Pat David. Don't do it.
That's the danger when you have. I don't know if she's prepared or not, but when you are answering things like this, and it's not comport with what is on the record, you're getting impeached. This is classic impeachment.
You're getting impeached in real time. Getting impeached in real time. Let me go into this one. Let me see if I can get a little bit out of this. I don't know. The one that he did with this one. With Pat David.
Mental health, gender ideology, none of this garbage. They're deliberately attacking you and saying, what your eyes tell you is wrong. Because if they can make you start to admit that your own eyes are wrong, then what other defense do you have against propaganda? If they're going to give you a lie, but your own eyes can't protect you, well then it's over, isn't it? So all of these things they're doing, all of these things are a deliberate assault on the senses. And they do it by controlling the language. If you control what someone says, over time, you'll control what they think. You don't think what you don't say. It's very hard to live a life.
So again, it's not telling lies. But the problem here is that he has such a heightened level of expectations around the human language, right? The human language evolves over time and time again for a reason. What we're saying right now probably used to be some kind of Latin language or Greek somewhere, right? It's evolved, it's changed form, it's used a little bit differently, slightly sometimes still connected, but it's changed massively, right? And it's been used to manipulate masses upon, like, of course, right? Welcome to the real world. This is the real world where you can say controlling. Well, what's wrong with controlling your wife? Well, I think you should be able to control your. Don't you think you should have your house under control? And then it's become a conflict, an active conflict between two people. Welcome to the real world. I don't know what kind of expectations you had before, but yes, there is such a thing as controlling behavior or manipulative behavior, or you're manipulating adults, and yes, you can go to jail for that if there's enough against you. I think his expectations are completely unrealistic, right? Yes, we live in a real world where, yes, what you see is not necessarily what it is. What do you mean? These are the problems. Exactly. See, you're speaking a different language. I'm speaking a different language. Just because you think yours is more correct doesn't mean you're correct. It just means we have an active conflict in our hands. And if both of us don't know how to resolve this conflict, we're screwed together. Okay? Potentially, you're screwed, especially if you think your power is in dictionary meanings. Okay? Because it depends on how much power I have in reality, and not necessarily who is saying the correct meaning from the dictionary. These are the issues.
For 8 years, if you're lucky, and think things and never say them ever. If you think it, you're going to say it sometimes. You're going to give the idea, get some feedback on the idea, build on the idea, change the idea, whatever it is, through discussion. If you never, ever, ever discuss it, you're not going to think it. So they say, this is the truth, ignore your eyes, and you have to say it's the truth. You can't say it's not the truth. And the people who are in charge of the world, they think generationally. They have time. Right now, it's a joke. 200 years from now, it won't be a joke. 200 years from now, it'll all be fucking standard operating protocol. The grandchildren, the people who are in charge now, that's what they want. They'll pull it off in the end. Slow, incremental damage. They do it with nearly everything. They'll take all your rights away. They'll take 100 of your rights away. They'll upset you. They'll give you 99 back. We're good again. Don't worry. And the grandchildren of the people in charge of the world get what they want in the end. They think generationally. So now we're at the beginning of it.
This interview also is a bad idea. Pat Bet David claims he's a friend, blah, blah, blah. It's a bad idea too. You're talking too much. 4 hours interview. It's not necessary.
Right? But especially to a limit where they have to react. Yeah. We want attention now. We want them to care about
What's the right move on that?
Well, that's the point. You know, it's difficult. Because there comes a point where you simply have to address it, and now you have to oppose it. And this is, sorry to interrupt you, but this is why they're so careful and so clever with what they do. They package it all together. LGBTQ. I would argue, I don't know what Q is, firstly. Sorry, I don't know what Q is.
Questioning.
Q. All right. I would argue that G and T are very different things.
Beyond.
A gay man and someone who's chopped the dick off are very different things. So they package it all together. So now, because the spectrum of...
Now he's attacking the LGBT alphabet community. Can you finish your case first? Of course not. He won't finish his case first. He won't.
You train with other boxers or other trainers. If you're on a football team, you're pushed by your team. I think life should be the same, right? Imagine you took the normal average man and you moved him into a house of 5 people, and you had a philosopher and a fitness expert and hypnotist, whatever it was. That will make him a more competitive person overall because he's trying to compete with all the other people who are on his level. You don't want to take bitch position. So I don't like the idea of my life without masculine competition. That's what I'll always do with my brother.
And if you met a girl one day who says, Tate, I want to have your babies, live with you, but it's kind of weird that your brother's here, what would you say to her?
Yeah, a few of them have said that. I offer some degree of compromise. I'm like, look, we can have our own house.
Yeah. We're going to be watching it, okay? All I'm going to tell you right now is that we're going to be watching this case. It's going to be an interesting thing to watch. It's a 50-50 for me right now. But I think they have some things against him. I think basically the time they were trying to hold him, right now he's on house arrest, okay? And they're using this time to build a case against him, okay? And he has more than enough that he said with his own mouth that can be used against him. He keeps talking about all this women, a bunch of women that basically like what he says. I have encountered those people. They do exist. Because they're like, oh, it's common sense, but you know, it's beyond common sense. I've always told you, common sense is the terrible guide to life. Women will tell you if something is common sense. When they end up on the receiving end of it, they will be the first to tell you, like, you're full of shit. You need to be put away for a long time, okay? And I can see that far. You can see that far. She can see that far, okay? But I can see as far as beyond just what makes sense on paper right now at this point in time. Everybody, men, women, would like to claim that, hey, I have cognitive abilities. I can read something that makes sense on paper. But oftentimes they're disconnected from the after effect, the long-term effect of certain things with respect to our social construct, the way we interpret these issues, emotional levels. It's usually much more complicated than, like you said, what you see. Of course, what you see is not often what you're seeing. There's backstories. There's a ton of things that happen before you're seeing what you're seeing. So if you're stuck on what I see is this, and somebody said, no, that's not what it is, and then you're confused, there's a reason why they're telling you that's not what it is, right? It could be they're trying to, you're right, it could be because they're trying to manipulate you. It could be because literally you can't see what you can't see. But if you don't calm down long enough, if you don't have enough patience, you're going to find yourself in the pota of life. Right. So the only way is to calm down, okay? Ask questions. If something is confusing, you feel like you see what you see, right? And somebody's telling you something else. The second person tells you something else. What the whole building is telling you, like about 1,000 people are telling you something else. You could actually be correct, okay? But you need to pay a little bit more attention to why 1,000 other people are saying you're incorrect. You need to pay attention to that, okay? And if you don't pay attention to that, you're going to be in problem, because the power at the end of the day is of the peoples, right? And if you're able to influence people, right, then you win. And if you're too impatient and you can't wait long enough to be able to influence people, and you want to argue with all this 1,000 people that can see something else, but you're just the only correct one, you're the correct head one, coconut head, and you can see what you see, you think is truth. Yes, you're probably going to collect woto. Yep. And you will still be right, because you see what you see, right?
Well, you're right.
Listen, I think they have a lot against him. Chinya, shout out to you. I see you're going in over there. 4 long hours is long as hell. Yeah. There's no way he hasn't roped himself up. There's no way. They're going to sit down. These people are career prosecutors. They will sit down, right? They will handpick apart everything you said. Okay? They will pick it apart. Right? Even when you're correct,
You know you can be prosecuted for that.
They will pick it apart and they will find enough. When they combine it together with when you were talking reckless in that membership on the internet that's now, I think they said it's no longer there. But they have all those videos. They have access to everything. Yeah. I'm afraid they have a lot against him. Okay. So at this point in time, he's still talking so much. He thinks he's talking to his best friend. He can put him in public and be talking. I think it's a bad idea. I think his obsession with being right. I think it's a deficit of patience, particularly for his situation. How much patience does he need? I'm telling you, for his situation, he needs a lot of patience. All right. So at this point in time,
you'll be mumu.
It's a mumu man. He needs to be quiet.
Will you keep quiet?
That's all I have for tonight. All right, thank you so much for Chinye. Shout out to you. Natu, shout out to you. Shout out to all 11 of you watching me behind the scenes. I appreciate you. It's late night. We're just doing late night. Right now, I think we have a show tomorrow about I married myself. Yes, we have a show tomorrow. So come back here tomorrow at the same time. I married myself. Almost this life, people are just on any extreme end. They want to make themselves feel better. But we'll cover that tomorrow. Okay. So right now, just go and have a good rest because I know you have work tomorrow. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one and peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.